What's up, everybody? Xavrun here, and today we're jumping back into Gods of Savvara. This is going to be our final video for the series here. I will come back for chapter 2. I'll keep everybody updated on anything that changes within the game, and then we'll check through it as well. Again, I highly suggest checking it out. All the Steam information is in my in the description below, as well as the links to ST Cinnabar, all the social media for that. And then obviously my link tree is in the description below as well. Now what we've done so far in the last few videos is we got quite a bit, right? We still have the Price of Freedom, Aghori, and I think it was King of the Beasts. I think I got this one. I ended up starting to play it, and then I absolutely forgot to start recording it, which kind of, it was whatever, but that's why I'm starting back over. So we're gonna go back through here to get this one, right? And then we're gonna try to get these other three. We're gonna figure it all out. So let's go ahead and just jump in, and I'm gonna try to keep the videos a little bit shorter. I didn't realize until after recording the video yesterday that it was gonna be 41 minutes long. So I'm gonna try to keep it a little bit shorter for you guys. Let me know what you think of that format. If you'd rather me make longer videos, shorter videos, like say 15 to 20 minutes or 20 to 30 minute videos. Yeah, and let me know what you guys think of the game in the comments below. So we're gonna go ahead and load up the game. We're gonna start, and then I'm just gonna skip past all the dialogue since we've already read through it 4 times so far. I will get it right eventually. Skip. Jump into the arena. Rip out the fang. Back off. For you. Refuse help. Direct attack. Wait. Jump off the beast. Boom. There we go. Now, basically, that's where I got the thing. I've got it on auto something here. I don't want that on. And we'll turn skip off as well here. But basically, he kills the beast. That's where we got the thing. He's sent to prison just like yesterday's video. And Kahir is now asking what's going to happen to them now that they're there. I'm going to just say, I don't know. You shouldn't have jumped. You should just live on. I could never accept a life like this. Even if we die here, it's better than being the master's pet. I'm not sure I could do the same thing. I didn't think I'd jump either. Hosfa heard a muffled sound, soft footsteps. Somebody entered the cave. Who's there? Please, pardon me. I didn't want anyone to see me sneaking in here. I am Eul. It was a lizard from the Honka tribe. Hana were easily recognizable, both by their ability to become virtually invisible and by the ridges on their head. Kahira sat down beside Hosfa. Sorry for the interruption, but I had to. You really surprised us. You can watch the pit? Or can you watch the pit? The guards usually keep us updated, not to mention how much gossip you've caused. Why did you come here? And why the secret arrival? I wanted our conversation to be private. We had our doubts, but I convinced others to initiate you. What are you talking about? You know, there's lots of Savvarians here who don't want to die at a whim of the masters, and more of those who cowardly whisper about hatred for the masters, even in these very caverns. You're whispering yourself right now. I am, but the majority just hope for mercy, and I whisper because I can't trust anyone, not even my own kind. But why do you trust me? You jumped right into the arena to save a female, knowing that such an act would not be forgiven. I can't help but trust you. And what is it you want? Well, some of the other Savvarians and I are going to run away, and I want to give you the chance to join us. Run away? Hosfa needed some time to process what he had heard. To not just disobey, but to deliberately stand up against the masters. Is there any chance of success? Hosfa has seen what their creators are capable of, Citizens of the City of the Sun were gods compared to the Savvarians. He really did go against his masters just for Kahira. But even now, it seemed like something insane, but not something he would regret. I understand. I really do. You think it's crazy. I was ready to accept death myself until I met an old lizard who was spending his last days here. He remembered the old wars with the Horned Ones. I think he was the only one who survived to this day, and he knew a great deal about our masters. The masters are not so powerful outside of Savvarah, nor are they omnipotent here in Savvarah. We just need to get out of here without any of them finding out. How do you know it's true? Where is this lizard? Alas, he did not live to witness this conversation. And besides, to rot here or to believe it and try to escape. Which one is better? Hasva did not know what to say. So, you just trust a dying old man? Of course not, but after hearing what he said, I wondered. And, everything suddenly fell into place. You must have seen the ring of clouds above our land. If there is indeed no limit to our master's power, why do clouds still exist outside of Savvarah? Why do they exist at all? And that's not the only thing. I'm from Hanka. I can become almost invisible. And when I began to live apart from the other servants, and at night that's when I began to live apart, okay. And at night I wandered around secretly, sometimes even in the master's house. My sorties were short at first. Soon I could walk freely around the house. Sometimes I'd climb onto the ceiling and I found myself very close to the masters. And I heard what my master and mistress were telling their children and what they were discussing among themselves. I heard about the world outside of Savvarah. I heard about the winged lizards, which even our masters feared. And I heard that behind the power of our masters, there was some teacher who existed beyond the boundaries of our universe. I learned that this world was vast. I learned that we lived within the confines of a small cage. I learned that we all were unfree. And you and I, we are slaves. We are but pets to our masters, but they are nothing more than slaves themselves. The masters can't leave here. There is something here in Savvarah that even they are afraid of. Akatal? Oops. I don't know why I did that again. Akatal? Right, Akatal. It's Akatal, the ruler of the sky and earth, the lord of the sun. The masters are slowly but inevitably getting older, yet he never changes. The masters are terrified of him, and I heard that even they consider him a god on earth. My master was once discussing it with his brother in a low voice, and he said that Akatal was the only disciple who knew all the secrets. And I have also heard that the masters walk on the ground or ride on a palanquin so to not offend Akatal. Only the Lord can walk over the earth. What my master said. Back then, I decided I didn't want to live in a cage anymore. I wanted to run away. I wanted to run with one female, trusted her, confided in her. Eul spread his arms, grinning crookedly. Well, I was not as lucky as you. She wanted to be the eldest of the house, not a runaway lover. We deserve an animal life. Yes, perhaps. But I still want to see the world outside of Savvarah. I want to feel free. What about you? Don't you want it? Of course I do. That's why I decided to protect Kahira. We wanted to escape tomorrow, but I think it's worth running this night because of you. Because of us. You went against the masters and Akatal himself before a great crowd. I'm sure that will not go unnoticed. Normally newcomers like you aren't sent back to the arena the very next day, but I think they might make an exception now. That's your guess, isn't it? Of course, I can't know everything for sure. I'm no Akatal. Hasva needs some rest. He's of the To him, it's nothing. Haas, let's leave this night. Hesitation must have caused great fear. The voice of reason told him there was nothing to think over. The arena means death. A quick death in some kind of fight for the hands of the masters. A slow death from hunger or exhaustion. The choice between a chance at freedom or imminent death is obvious. Only the most desperate can dream of freedom in the city of the sun when you are at the very bottom. The only way to move is up. This night. Awesome. I will gather the others and together we'll discuss everything. Ayul left him. I'm a little afraid. Me too, but we have no choice. We can die if we fail, but if we stay, sooner or later, we will die in that pit anyway. And if we succeed? Yes, you imagined it, didn't you? You and me, the world without masters. It even seems strange to Hosfa that, being in his dungeons, never once regretted jumping into that pit. He was happy, truly happy. Hosfa used to enjoy the rare moments they spend together, but deep inside he always knew nothing would come of it, for it was his masters who decided everything in the Savvarians' lives. The slaves had no right to ask for anything. But now, for the first time, he saw that there was no way out of the abyss. It might seem that this way is just an illusion, born from a mind that cannot accept the omnipresent darkness. Sorry, the double is keeps distracting me. But it is there. Hosfa felt there was such a way. And he wasn't the only one who did. It wasn't long before the other Savvarians started gathering. Ayul was the last to arrive. There aren't that many of you. I carefully picked those I could trust. The stories of many of us, including your own, teach us that not all of our brothers can be trusted. Many still expect forgiveness of the masters. We have guards on our side. They will help us. How have you managed to persuade them? I got a trick or two up my sleeve. We leave after sunset. My friends will come pick you up. Hosfa and Kahira were once left alone in the dark. Other Savvarians scurried about the passageway. Some even peeped into the room, but walked past, noticing Hosfa and Kahira's dark silhouettes. Kira hugged Hosfa, cuddling up to him. He held her gently. Do you think we'll make it? Can we live happily outside of Savvarah? Of course we make it, and we will. I'm a little afraid that all of this will prove to be part of a punishment prepared for us by the masters, as if they gave us hope just to take it away. I know what you mean. It had crossed my mind too, but there is little choice for us. If we don't take our chances, we will just die, either in the arena or right here underground. I think the same way. They spent the whole day together, snuggled up. Hosfa dreamt of sitting like this, not hiding from the others and not thinking about what someone would say about it, the masters or the other Savvarians. And now, no one cared about them at all. The lizard guard looked in on them soon. Hosfa understood that he was one of the allies. They followed him. Hosfa noticed that other lizards were joining them one by one, all in the same direction. He recognized some of them. They were present when he talked to Ayul the last time. They were now approaching a wall, which looked quite ordinary and indistinct. Two guards stepped in it. The earth was split open, and wall was split, opening a large crevice. The Savvarians dived inside. Freedom was just about 10 feet from them. Hosfa followed the others. Ayul wasn't to be seen amongst them. He might have rushed forward. He was so anxious to see the world outside of Savvarah. Suddenly, Hosfa noticed fear in a lizard's eyes. The tunnel was getting narrow. The wall behind them had already closed up, cutting off the way back and the way out. or the way out was blocked by guards. Why did Ayul say, on our side, it's unlikely? They had to act quick. We're gonna kill the guards this time. Last time we stunned him. Hosfa cut the throat out of one of the lizards. The second one had his neck snapped. It all happened quick and silent enough, but it was too late. They were about to be buried in here. Hosfa and Kahira and most other Savvarians got outside. Luckily, but two fugitives behind them were crushed. Only an arm was protruding from the wall. They ran. They were going to cross the town slowly and quietly to escape into the woods, but they had to change their plan. Ayul! Damn scoundrel. He used his chameleon ability to get away and left us to die. He must have conspired with the guards from the very start. Traitor. Now they were running between the master's estates. Without slowing down their pace, they rushed into the damp forest. Hosfa sprinted. Kahira was keeping up with him. There was terror in the eyes of many of the fugitives. Hosfa felt his heart beating frantically, not from running, but because of a foreboding sense of disaster. A peal of thunder. They knew that it was not the elements that tried to stop them, but they continued running. On the contrary, they ran even faster, even though it seemed not possible. The ground trembled. The tree branches twisted unnaturally, and they were now shaking their way to the Savvarians. There was howling and growling everywhere. Wild animals are now on the hunt for them. But it was just a prelude. The trees began to twist, whipping spear-like branches. Hosfa thought they were trying to block their way, but out of the corner of his eye, he saw the branches of the low tree pierce through the body of another fugitive. Hosfa grabbed Kahira by the arm. He tried to keep her in sight. They managed to pass between the trees, though they slowed their pace a little bit. The chasms opened in the ground. One of the fugitives fell into such a chasm. The ugly, earthy mouth immediately closed in on him, crushing his bones, breaking the tree as it ran. A beast of the kind they saw in the arena rushed into separate lizards from each other. 3 lizards, including 1 fugitive guard, were killed, and 1 more. It was madness. Hosfa could not even fathom he was still alive. Hos! Her foot landed rapidly in a narrow hole. Hosfa grabbed Kahira by her belt. He pulled her out, perhaps even too hard. Jaws managed to grasp her foot, but Hosfa literally ripped it from the ground's grasp. Kahira screamed. A tree branch was stuck in her leg. Another wide tree stake pierced her stomach. Ooh. Hosfa froze, unable to move, but at the same moment, she herself violently pushed him away, just as the next needles were about to pierce his body. Run! At this moment, Ayul crashed into Hosfa and literally dragged him along. Damn! Both the lizard's legs were pierced by the branches. He was barely standing on all fours. Hosfa hesitated for a moment, slowed his pace. Ayul saw it. Run! Run, idiot! Hosfa ran, not seeing the monster's claws seizing Ayul's back, mercilessly biting off the lizard's head. Hosfa didn't want to run. Hosfa was unable to think where he was running or what for. All alone? He slowed down, as if hoping that death would catch him, and he would forget what was left behind. Then he would not be haunted by the death of his loved ones, nor by the meaningless promise made to Kahira, nor by Kahira herself, whom he had left to die alone, hoping that her end would be quick. But the elements didn't kill him. He needed time to realize that there was no more terrible sound and motion around him. He had escaped Savvarah. He collapsed to his knees, unable to walk any further. He screamed. Okay, the price of hubris, cool. His hands were shaking and his heart was pounding. But the eyes were completely lost and empty. It was all in vain, he thought now, for he was unworthy of salvation. He should have stayed in Inkatal. They might have perished in the arena, but they would have spent some time together. They might have even lived in the dark for months or years, but now there was no one around him now, and he can't even go back. Hosfa collapsed into the soft grass, exhausted. He didn't want to believe that it was real. He was broken, and then the fatigue dragged him into the abyss of sleep. It wasn't a regular dream. In such dreams, Hosfa could control himself, and subconsciously he realized the illusion of what was happening. But now, even though his mind told him it was unreal, everything seemed so true. He was standing on his feet. There was no ground beneath him. There was mist everywhere, as if he were in the clouds. The voice, "You were the one I've always been waiting for." "Who are you?" "They used to call me the teacher. My name is Dadar." Okay, so we got that ending again. The price of hubris, 3 of 4. Okay. So I guess let's go ahead and load up. And what other achievements do we need? We need the servant. Oh no, we need Agori. We need the price of freedom. I think those are the last two, right? Yep. All right, let's go try to find those. All right, so we're gonna try these other options now. Let's go ahead and skip through all this. We're gonna jump into the arena. We're gonna rip out the fang. We're gonna back off. We're gonna do it for you. We're gonna refuse her help. We're going to direct attack. Then we're going to wait. Then we're gonna jump off the beast. Now we're gonna end up back here, right? She says, "What will happen to us? I don't know." Akatal? Right, Akatal. Oh yeah, I think we're gonna skip again to right here. Yeah, we're gonna leave the next night this time instead of this night. Didn't you just say newcomers are not sent to the arena the next day? Yeah, but in your case, it's special. Do you think that Akatal's pride was wounded? It's laughable. Now you are just making up excuses. Why? I'm worn out, and escape is a serious matter. Now, or how can we make this kind of decision so soon? Just like that. There is nothing to choose from, a chance of freedom or certain death. That's your choice. When I jumped into the arena, I was ready to die. Suit yourself. All right, I'll check up on you tomorrow. Haas, did we do the right thing? Do you think there's some right choice? I mean, I do think we did the right thing. Do you think there's some right choice? That's comforting. But we can spend all this time together. They fell asleep on the floor. He was dreaming of the wind. It was blowing in his face, cool, unpleasant, stiff. Such wind never blows in the city of the sun. It was easy to breathe. There were no trees around, an open field with grass of faded yellow. The sky was gray. Hosfa did not see the sun. He was watching the chaotic clouds which he had never seen before. And they were beautiful. Kahira. Hos! He turned around. Yeah, cute little baby. They did. It's such great. It's great. Kahira was standing nearby. She had a tiny creature in her arms. It had dark scale, short tail, a pair of large eyes. As he took a step towards her, the clouds, which seemed so heavy and hard, cracked open, and a bright sunlight fell on Kahira and the baby. The silence was broken by an eerie scream of Kahira as her body began to melt. The path of light led to a figure between the clouds. He was blinded by the bright light. Then he opened his eyes. Okay. He was lying on a rock covered with sand. Kahira was not around. The bright light shone into his eyes. He was in the arena. He slowly rose, straightened his full height. The masters were looking at him from above. On the throne sat Akatal himself. Hosfa gritted his teeth. He should have listened to Aul. There was no one else in the arena. He will be executed by magic. What will happen to Kahira then? He was not going to fall to his knees and beg Akatal for forgiveness. Instead, he threw up his head, looking straight at the god in the flesh. The masters were watching the Savvarah and Akatal in disbelief. No one could afford such imprudence. Hosfa was distracted by the passageway formed in the wall directly in front of him. of which Kahira stepped uncertainly into the arena. She had a short dagger in her hand. It all became clear to him. One sin, one life. Or Akatal says, one sin, one life. The voice of Akatal thundered in his head. Hosfa was not about to give in. Why should he need their forgiveness? Do it. There was fear in Kahira's eyes. Kahira shook her head and threw the dagger away. Hosfa took a step towards her and, one sin, one life. A sudden flash of pain. The world began to blur before his eyes. His body was cramping up. His own mouth emitted a croak that turned into a loud guttural roar. An animal roar. Hosfa heard intensifying thuds. His heart began to pound faster and faster. He heard a crunch, followed by another bout of pain, as if his whole body was breaking and changing. Something broke out of his back. His claws were growing longer, and so were his teeth. He felt his body growing bigger. Pain was fading away. No, it was not just fading away. Hosfa was no longer feeling his own body at all. He was now an observer. His eyes were staring at Kahira, and at that moment he realized what punish Akatal had in mind. He saw Kahira trying to fight off the monster. She was shouting something, but Hosfa did not hear her. Only loud heartbeat and a resounding roar. It all seemed like part of a dream. His claws found her flesh and warm blood, and then Hosfa got his teeth in her neck. The smell and taste of Kahira's blood were everywhere. The monster tormented her body further. His mind fell into the abyss. Hosfa woke up in the darkness. He found himself back at the catacombs. His body was his own again, though aching with fatigue and pain. His claws were in blood. So we got Agori. It was not a dream. Hosfa vomited. Blood and undigested chunks of meat and scales spurted out of his mouth. Seeing it, Hosfa began to cough badly. Tears fell from his eyes for the first time in his life. Ayo, Hosfa, I'm sorry. I killed her. We both know it was Akatal. We had a chance to save ourselves. You were right. But I'm not happy about that at all. Hosfa felt as helpless as never. What are you going to do? I don't know. We are leaving this night. Are you coming with us? What for? You didn't jump into the arena for nothing. I did it for Kahira, but now it turns out that it was for nothing. It wasn't only for her, was it? We are all the same here. We all dream of getting rid of the masters, but we need a good reason to stake our lives on it. Hosfa, if you refuse, both your sacrifice and Kahira's will be in vain. Why would you want to convince me? Just think of me as a do-gooder. Hosfa did not feel that burst of energy he felt before, as if he had no desire to flee at all. The idea of ending things here was really running through his mind. To kill himself or to get the Savvarians to do it. But Aul was right about something. Hosfa was not going to surrender to Akatal. He did not want his fate to become another proof of Akatal's absolute power. There's a E there. I will go with you. Great. I will gather everyone. Other Savvarians arrived. They all hid in the shadows. There aren't that many of you. I carefully picked those I could trust. The stories of many, including our own, can be trusted. I still expect forgiveness. Many still expect forgiveness of their masters. We have the guards on our side. They will help us. We move out tonight. They sat quietly waiting for darkness to fall. The guard looked in a room on them. Hosfa understood that it was one of the allies, and they followed. Hosfa then noticed the other lizards joining them. We're going to skip because we got here. Let's help Aul. The price of freedom. Okay, we got the price of freedom, and I shouldn't have skipped past all that. I want to go through the history, though. I am so sorry about that. I didn't realize I was going to literally skip past everything. In the grass. Aul limping badly. Damn. Traitor. Oh my gosh. Okay, I missed a lot of damn dialogue. Okay, so great with everyone. I will go with you. Okay, I'll go with you. No, there aren't many of us. I picked very carefully the stories of us. The gods are on our side. We move out tonight. They sat quietly, waiting for the darkness to fall. The lizard guard looked in on them soon. Hosfa understood that it was one of the allies. They followed him. Hosfa noticed that other lizards were gradually joining them. They were moving at a different pace, at a different distance from each other, but at the same direction. They now were approaching the wall, which looked quite ordinary and indistinct. Two guards stepped in. The earth wall was split in a crevice. Yeah, we read all that. The Savvarans dived inside for freedom. The tunnel was getting narrow. The wall behind them was already closed up, cutting off the way back. They had no way out. The way out was blocked by guards. What did you say? On our side, unlikely. Yeah. Hosfa cut the throat of one of the lizards. The second lizard had his neck snapped. Okay, so it looks like it chose the kill option because I skipped everything. The damn scoundrel traitor. Now they were running through the city streets. We read all that. Peal of thunder, preludes, the trees began to twist. Hosfa thought that they were trying to block the way, but out of the corner of his eye, he saw the branches of low pierce through the body of another fugitive. Damn. Okay. Eul. Damn. A branch pierced Eul's leg. Hosfa grabbed his arm to pull, saving him from certain death. Run. Eul was limping very badly and breathing heavily. Hosfa threw his arms over his shoulder. They ran for a long time, in complete silence. Hos, stop. Hosfa, what? He was too tired to have noticed they were running on low grass now. Above them was a brightening sky without the trees hanging out to kill them. The forest was blind. They escaped Savvarah. Hosfa could not believe his eyes. It was like a dream. There was no scorching heat, just a slight chill in the air that he had never felt in Savvarah. The wild grass seemed soft. Savarian's grass was mostly herb with large thick leaves and rather voluminous stems. They both collapsed on the soft grass, breathing heavily. Ha! The grass. This grass is... Eol stared up at the sky. It's so beautiful. You? Yeah. Oh, you already knew. Thought you'd get cold feet. Thought you'd run. And in chaos, I'd sneak out. Didn't make it though. Hosfa had nothing to say. He was looking at the sky. Why? It's easier to run alone. Well, can't argue with that. Shut up. Without me, you'd have pigged out in a pit already. No one survived but us. But you? What? Now he noticed that the grass where Eul was laying had already turned scarlet. Blood was oozing heavily from the lizard's body. Damn, you're a lucky man. I have tough skin. That I forgot. You are so calm. It was my dream to see the sky beyond Savvarah, you know. I dreamt about leaving this damned city. Dreamt of dying a free man, and I am glad that one of us made it. I did not deserve this. Who did? These clouds. I've never seen such clouds. Eul. These clouds. His eyes went glassy. Hosfa's body disobeying him, collapsed into the grass. The sky began to blur and fade. He lost everyone who could be lost. He achieved everything that could be achieved by a Savvarian, but there was no relief, only terrible fatigue and absolute weakness that dragged him into the abyss of sleep. Hosfa did not try to resist. It wasn't a regular dream. In such dream, Hosfa could control himself, and subconsciously he realized the illusion of what was happening. But now, even though his mind told him it was unreal, everything seemed so true. He was standing on his feet, but there was no ground beneath him. There was a mist everywhere in the clouds. It's the voice. My name is Dadar. All right, cool. That's really cool. All right, so did we get them all? Yes, we did. All done. All right. Well, this game is very, very, very fun. I can't wait to play Chapter 2. Thank you all for stopping by. As always, thank you for liking, subscribing. Don't forget to ring the notification bell. And let me know in the comments what you think about this. And if you have any other suggestions of what you would like to see me play. And yeah, as always, you guys have yourselves a great day.